Studio B, it's the Newswatch Special Edition, Election 2012. With Andrew Schneider, Kyle Steingraber, and Lisa Villa. This special edition of Newswatch 18 starts now.
And happy election night, Ames. And for all of you watching on our website, isutv.stu.org.iastate.edu, it's election night 2012, and we here at ISU TV have a live election show right here for you. Over the next 2 hours, we'll be talking with political science experts as well as students here at Ames about their feelings of this year's election. We've got a bunch of results to get to. And today I'm joined, of course, by Lisa Villa, our Tuesday Newswatch anchor, and Kyle Steingraber, one of our reporters, as well as our club treasurer. And guys, good to have you up here.
It's good to be up here. I'm really looking forward to the discussion we're going to have this evening.
As am I, and we're really going to get right into it. The ISU ambassadors this week held a mock election online, and joining us we've got Marta Sucur. And Marta, you have some results for us from this mock election. All student run, all student votes, correct?
Yes, we held a mock election, and it involved the students from the residence halls, and we had sent out an online ballot. And our results were actually very interesting because they were very close between all of the candidates. We had a presidential candidate, we had the U.S. District 4 representatives, the 45th District and 46th District state representatives. And for the presidential candidates, our winner was Barack Obama. And what was interesting was he won by 3%. And then for District 4 representative, Christy Vilsack only won by 1%. And for the 45th District State Representative, Beth Wessel-Cashel won by 1%. And then for the 46th District State Representative, Lisa Heddens won by 1%.
And I had a chance to glance over your numbers here. It looks like Gary Johnson actually received 42 votes as well at 5%. That would be, of course, the 5% required to earn federal funding. And that's been kind of a big goal of his campaign. So how is this promoted, and how are students able to vote on during this election? So maybe when the next election comes up, of course, not a lot of students are going to be here for that one. But, of course, what was the process behind it?
We basically just set up a ballot on Google Forms, and we had the IRHA president send out the ballot to the residents in the residence halls. And out of the couple thousand residents that live in the residence halls, we had about 769 votes. So that was really good to hear that. We thought it was a big success for sure.
Now, did you guys send the ballots out just to the people who live in Richardson Court and those the actual residence halls, or did you also send them out to Freddie Court? And
we were not able to send it out to Freddie Court actually in the on-campus apartments because they weren't able to send out the ballots. But what we did do is we put up a link on our ambassador's Facebook page. So that allowed whoever liked the page or whoever was on Facebook to go click the link and then vote. So I'm assuming we got some votes out of that as well.
Now, you guys and ISU ambassadors, of course, are a part of GSB. But then again, that doesn't necessarily make you the political expert. But what do you think this is very reflective of our campus? It seemed to be, at least with the way that Romney and Obama both campaigned here and brought in a lot of big names.
I think it really reflected that, and I think that the reason it was so close was because when you look at young people, there's so many different opinions, and I mean, like you said, people actually voted for Gary Johnson, which was really, really cool to see because we were debating on whether or not we wanted to put a third candidate in there because we weren't sure, not many people vote for the third parties, but yeah, it definitely reflected, I think, young people and how they vote because it's very, very diverse.
Now, I know that you said that if anybody was looking at the Facebook page, they could vote. What was the reason for not sending it out to anybody other than the residence hall students?
Because it's hard to get a way to send out a mass email to all students. We had to go through, we actually talked to some of the departments within the colleges, and not all of them could send out the election ballot. So IRHA was willing to do that, and so that we got a good amount of the ISU population.
And, of course, from that ISU population, did you anticipate so many third-party candidates? I know some years, especially 20 years ago, and hardly anyone here on the stage was ready to vote by that point in time, but typically third-party candidates aren't very popular among students simply because of the way the press works and the way the media works, where there's so much focus on those two. Were you a little bit surprised, at least, to see, especially for a candidate like Gary Johnson out there?
I actually wasn't surprised at all. I don't think anyone else on the ambassadors was. We really did expect a good amount of votes for the third-party candidate. So, yeah, I mean, we expected it, definitely.
When did you close this poll?
The poll was closed last week on Friday at noon, and it started up on Tuesday, so it ran only for a couple of days.
And was there any sort of option outside of the three? Was there some sort of write-in option, or did you guys avoid that maybe avoid kind of like a joke if someone wanted to put "Psy" in the ballot or something like that?
Yeah, we avoided it because it's really hard to go through the spreadsheet and go through all of those people and, you know, delete, like you said, those random votes we had. So we avoided that. It was just 3 candidates for presidential candidates, and then the rest, you know, however many other candidates there were.
And then how did this help get out the word a little bit about ISU ambassadors, especially when you had the opportunity, not the whole student-wide email, but at least some promotion via Facebook and via some of the smaller emails?
Well, I hope it got the word out in the sense that it shows students that we're here to help get them involved in politics and let them know what, you know, how there's different ways to look at the different candidates and stuff. A lot of people, I'm assuming, didn't really know much about the state representatives. Most kids actually voted for the presidential candidates. We didn't have everyone vote for those representatives, so I think it just got the word out that our organization is here to get everyone involved and represent the students here at ISU.
Now, have there been any other events leading up to this election that you guys have been working on? Obviously, the election cycle is always so long, especially here in Iowa, one of the hotly contested states nationally.
Yeah, we actually held an open forum, and that was really cool because we had the 45th District and 46th District candidates come and speak to a couple of the students who came. We had a debate as well, and that the college Republicans and Democrats were a part of that. And yeah, so we've held a good amount of events, and it's really helped get the word out.
Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us today,
All right,
Marta, and
thank
we really
you.
appreciate it. Now, we're going to shift our focus here a little bit as we have a little bit of time. We have live reporters out in Des Moines. They're going to call in here just a couple minutes. Alyssa Weiss, one of our Newswatch reporters. And we already have some results that are in right now. And some of the big news that's come up, at least CBS has actually called Wisconsin and I believe New Hampshire in the favor of Barack Obama. And they said there's only 9 ways now that Mitt Romney can end up winning this presidency. And guys, sometimes those projections aren't necessarily right, especially with so many states and the times that they close those polls. Some of them do rely on those exit polls as well. I mean, we have actually here a graphic coming up from CNN about the presidential election, and as of right now, Obama has 143 electoral votes, Romney at 152. So guys, still very hotly contested, but at least right now, the swing states that Romney was really counting on going Obama's way.